Leonie, did you have the funnest time in the mountains? Oh my goodness, there's so much snow out there. Yeah, it was just the greatest time, wasn't it? Leonie, go ahead. You're gonna have to give one of my kisses to your friends, okay? I'm a good boy, such a good boy. Look at those hands. You know your mother can't take your hands. You're just too special, Leonie. You love the cabin so much, and you love the mountains, nature, yeah. So special. Love you, Brownie. All your friends love you. I'm a good boy. Look at that head. Hey everybody, it's Megan. As always, I hope all of you are doing well. Today we are going to be doing a comparison review between the Louis Vuitton Keepall 45, 50, and 55. Hopefully this video will let you guys know if you do believe one of these sizes is right for you, which size is right for you, and if this Keepall is actually worth it. I'll be showing you what fits in each of the sizes, also my personal favorite size that I would recommend, and by the end of the video, hopefully you guys will know if you are considering a Louis Vuitton Keepall, which size is right for you. Before we get into it, I'm going to throw it out there as I typically do. In case you have not joined my YouTube luxury community, kindly invite you to do so by clicking on that subscribe button you see located right down there below on your screen. Also, by clicking that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload a video. I'll let you know right off the bat, the sizes I own, 45, 50, 55, are all carry-on friendly. If you go up a size to the 60, they're not going to let you bring that on as a carry-on item. I actually own the size 45 in the MACASSAR, which is the monogram with black leather, and I also own it in a different version. I'm going to go over that one because I think it's prettier to look at overall. This is from the Spring in the City collection. Again, the size 45, Sunset Pastel. First thing I want to let you know about this size 45 is it is one size up from the largest Speedy. The Speedies come in the 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. One up from that is going to be the smallest Keepall, which is this 45. For me personally, I have noticed that I use the 45 the least amount, and the biggest reason for that is because of what it fits. I can't say that I'm a very light packer. Like I said, with this size 45, I own it in the MACASSAR, which is that monogram canvas with the black leather, which is very, very carefree. Now, I have used that to use as a gym bag. I've also used it for overnight trips, but I definitely would not choose this for a longer trip. But I've actually used the size 45 on longer trips. Now, you guys can't judge me. You can't make fun of me. The reason why I've used it on longer trips, like I said, I just don't pack light, is when I'm going on a longer vacation and I want to bring other bags, jewelry, things that are of value. Because when I bring this with me, it does not leave my sight. As a matter of fact, I always ask my husband to carry my Keepalls for me because he's just a great layer of protection. What can I say? But for all of you that may travel very, very light, I do think that you could consider this for a 2 or 3 night trip, depending on how light you travel. I want to let you guys know what fits exactly in a Keepall 45 to give it a very structured, beautiful look. And I'm going to show you what I would bring with me for a 1 night trip that would fit very comfortably. So let's go ahead and open this up. Here we go. So pretty. I just love this Keepall so much. What can I say? I think you guys understand. But first and foremost, I do have, and I will link these within the description box below, packet cubes. And I do use them for bringing my undergarments with me. And then I do have accessories. I always bring accessories with me. Here I have a belt. I love this one. I will link this as well. This is reversible. It has black leather monogram on the other side. And finally, I have a pair of sneakers. And then for a 1 night trip, I have a few tops that I want to bring because I like to have a few options, even though it is a 1 night trip. You never know. You could always change your mind as to which top you want to wear. And then I have a pair of jeans. And then finally, I always like to bring a lounge outfit with me just because it can be very, very comfortable. I love this brand Aloe. So you guys can see I was able to fit a lounge outfit, a pair of jeans, 2 tops, a pair of sneakers, my Louis Vuitton hat, my Louis Vuitton belt, never know if I want to use it, and then my undergarments. All of those fit very, very comfortably in the size 45. I think you guys understand it's a great overnight bag. Again, this is going to be a great overnight bag. I really don't pack too much to the point where I can't use this bag for an overnight stay. I definitely can. But I happen to notice there is a huge difference when it comes to the size 45 and the size 50, which I find to be very, very amazing. I think you can tell there's quite a bit of difference between this 50 and the 45. This is definitely going to fit quite a bit more. So here we have the Keepall 50, and I'm going to show you what fits inside in comparison to what I showed you in the 45. Basically, the same items that I showed you in the 45 are in this bag, and I'm going to be showing you what fits on top of that. So let me quickly open this and show you. Okay, so the first thing that I added last time I showed you basically what was in this dust bag, which was the Givenchy sneakers, the belt, and the hat. And then I brought another pair this time. I'm able to fit these Valentino flip-flops. Love these. They're so very comfortable. I have them in the beige color as well, and they're just amazing. The last time in the 45, you did not see this top that I brought in addition, another top, and then you did see the undergarments in the size 45. You saw this top. Let's see what else we have here. You didn't see this top, and you did not see these leggings. On top of that, you did not see these jeans, but you did see these jeans. They were in the 45. And then let me see if there's anything else. I have the other sweater top that I brought. And finally, the loungewear. So basically what I was able to fit in this 50 that I was not able to fit in the 45 was this pair of jeans, a pair of leggings, 1, 2, 3 tops, and an extra pair of shoes. So that's going to be quite a bit extra that you're able to fit in the 50 in comparison to the 45. It really does make that much of a difference when you want to bring those extra items with you. Something to definitely take into consideration if you're considering the 45 or 50. Now, please let me just mention this to you, because if you are considering a Keepall, it's very important to know this. If you're thinking about investing in a Keepall or you have a Keepall, it is a very, very good idea to get an organizer and a base shaper. I mentioned in prior videos that the company ZOOMONI recently came out with a 1.2 millimeter, which is a very, very thin organizer. But when I say thin, please don't think that it's so thin that it's not going to add any structure to the bag. It definitely will, but it's not going to take up any room in the bag. And that's a huge thing for me, especially because, like I said, I don't travel light. That is for sure. So I need all the room that I can get. As you guys can see, I have the base liner and the 1.2 millimeter organizer inside. If you're looking for a little bit more structure, you might want to consider the 2 millimeter, but I really find the 1.2 to work perfectly for me, especially because I got the base liner. Now, it's really important to know this about the 45, 50, 55, even 60. These Keepalls do not keep their structure at all. If you're anything like me, you're going to want your Keepall to look nice when you're using it, right? You're going to want it to have that beautiful structure and not be just flimsy looking all around. So the organizer in combination with this wonderful base liner is really going to do that for you. Before I had an organizer to use with these pieces, it was so hard to pack them in a way that made the bag look nice. I'm not sure if you guys are like me, but when I pack, I like it to be very simple because packing is hard enough as it is. It's really, for me, just difficult to pick out what to bring on a specific vacation because I always like to have options. So when I'm going through the process of actually packing my Keepall, I want it to be very, very smooth. So again, if you do own a Keepall, if you're thinking about getting a Keepall, I would really get an organizer and a base shaper. Or if you don't get a Keepall and you're interested in using an organizer for any of your other luxury bags, I highly recommend it. I use them for all of my bags. If you check within my description box below, I have 20% off ZOOMONI, their entire website. I highly recommend checking them out. So back to the 50. I have actually used this bag, being a non-light traveler, for a 3-night trip, and it actually did work out. That just goes to show the difference between the 45 and the 50. It is quite substantial. Now, would I recommend this for a 5, 6, or 7-night trip? I really wouldn't. Unless you're carrying an additional piece of luggage with you, it's going to be hard to fit in all of your items. And of course, it's going to depend on what you decide to pack with you, but I find the average 5, 6, 7-night trip is not very short. But please don't get me wrong, I've definitely used my size 50 on longer stays. It's just I always make sure to bring an additional piece of luggage. But the 55, if you are going on a longer night stay and you aren't bringing an additional piece of luggage, is going to be a great option. I think you guys can tell there is a huge difference between this, the 55, and the 45. This would really be an ideal size for any of you that like to do 3-night trips and you don't like to pack light. It will really, really work well. So let me go ahead and show you. Let's see here. I do have the Valentino sandals that I showed you before. On top of that, I have the sweater that was in the 45. I'm going to go ahead and just put everything into a pile, the 45, 50, 55, so you guys get a real good idea as to the differences of what fits inside. So here we have 45, and here we have 50. Here is the top I showed you that was in the 45. This was in the 50. This is newly added, so it's going to be 55. I'll go ahead and scoot this over just a bit. And then let's see here. I do have this top. I think I included it the last time with the 50. I'll put it right here. And then I did add a hoodie this time to the 55, which does make a difference because these are quite thick. So 55. And then we have the loungewear that was in the size 45. So I'll put that right here. I hope you guys are able to see this. I'll go ahead and adjust the camera a little bit here. Here we go. So 50, 45 and 55 over there. Another thing that was in the 45 you guys saw before, the shoes, the belt, and the hat. And then I did add to the 50, I do believe, right here. I added a plain white tee for the 55. The leggings were included in the 50. The jeans were included in the 45. And then these jeans were in the 50. And then the last item takes up a lot of space. And let me just tell you guys, I cannot wait to use these, by the way. Can I just say, I got these for Christmas. And I'm pretty much playing pretend because I cannot wait to wear these adorable, beautiful Demi-Resort sandals in the summer. And so they will fit in the 55. And oh, I almost forgot, my undergarments would go in the 45. You can see there is quite a bit of clothes on my bed. Let me go ahead, separate this just a little bit here for you because it's a little bit jumbled. Again, in the 45, I had undergarments to fit. I had a pair of jeans. I also had my belt, hat, and shoes. They're sneakers. And then I had this loungewear, a top and bottom. They're quite thick. And then I had a cute top and another cute top. Now, when it came to the 50, I added these cute jeans. By the way, I love the brand Hudson, I just got to say. Also, these leggings. I had 1, 2, 3 extra tops and a pair of Valentino flip-flops. That was the difference between the 45 and 50. I fit this much extra. And then when it came to the size 55, I basically fit this thick sweater, a very thick hoodie. On top of that, I do have another top. And then lastly, I have these Demi-Resort sandals. And again, I think you guys can tell these are going to take up quite a bit of space. So that basically shows how much more the 55 fits in comparison to the 50. But you guys can basically see right here, I am able to fit an absolute ton in this size 55. So I hope that gave you guys a good idea. And now I have to put all of these pretty items away because I don't like them on my bed. We just arrived at the cabin, you guys, and I want to show you really quick my beautiful items that I brought with me. It's snowing. It literally started snowing right when we got here. So, yeah, I have my LV Keepall 55 and my Neverfull GM. I love that bag. Is it just me or does that look very, very beautiful to you? And with that fireplace in the background, yes, it definitely works. This lot is usually so full all the way up that hill up there and all the way behind where we just were. And look how empty it is. I'll just take a moment and admire Browner's little feet when he's so relaxed at the cabin. It's a fireplace going, so cozy. Yeah. Let's go down to the little head. Brownie. Oh, gotta zoom out a little bit, baby. Brownie, now is the time to tell your friends how much you love them and how much you appreciate everything that they say. Look at your little hands, Brownie. You're just too cute. Those hands. It's hard for us to take it, Brownie, because you're just so special with your little ears and everything. Yeah. Why don't you come give Oh, Brownie, why do you stare like that? Why don't you give everybody a kiss and say, I love you so much? Because what do you tell Mommy all the time? That love is the most important thing in the world. That's right. Yes. And you say everybody that is on Mommy's YouTube channel is so smart because they know what love is. Brownie, you said you wanted to give your friends a kissy. It's time. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, good boy, Brownie. Brownie, did you have the funnest time? So snowy, amazing. Yeah, it was just the greatest time, wasn't it? Brownie, go ahead. You're gonna have to give one more kissy to your friends, okay? I know, good boy. Such a good boy. Look at those hands. You know your mother can't take your hands. You're just too special, Brownie. You love the cabin so much, and you love the mountains, the nature. Yeah, so special. Love you, Brownie. All your friends love you. I know, good boy. Look at that head. Maybe you're considering the size, or perhaps you're also considering which print to get. That can definitely be a very big decision. When you have a very carefree print like this Demi-Resort,
you're not going to have to worry about snow. You're not going to have to worry about rain or perhaps possible rain. I really like tropical destinations, and with tropical destinations, you just can't predict the weather there. So even though I've gone on 5-night trips to Hawaii, I never bring my Monogram, just because in Hawaii, you never know if you'll get a stray little shower here and then it's sunny there. That's just how it works in tropical places. I love it, don't get me wrong, but I always bring my Demiere Ben, and I've absolutely loved bringing this one with me to Hawaii. You guys would be surprised. It is very carefree. Yes, it did get water on it, and I'm very happy to say there were no watermarks. So obviously, when considering a Keepall, you're going to consider the size. You're also going to consider which print to get. And in all honesty, out of the MACASSAR, Demiere Ben, and Monogram, I think that I would choose the Monogram as my favorite. But if I could only choose one, I would go with the Demiere Ben because it is so carefree. I have been very, very diligent as far as how I take care of that bag. I make sure there is no rain in the forecast. The Demiere Ben, first canvas for Louis Vuitton. Also, it's just very, very elegant looking. I find it to be so beautiful. It's actually pretty interesting because I did say that the Monogram is my favorite print when it comes to the Keepall, but I don't really think that it is. Now that I think about it, I think that it's pretty much a tie between the two. I think a lot of you guys know how it is. With Louis Vuitton, it's just hard sometimes to pick a print because they are so pretty. So now I'll let you guys know what I find to be the perfect size Keepall. Maybe you'll be surprised because early on I did say with the 55 you can fit so much. It's really wonderful for longer night vacations. But when it comes down to it, I really do find the 50 to be the best. The reason why I say that is quite simple. In the beginning of this video, I let you know that there is quite a difference in size between the 45 and 50. Big enough where I feel it will definitely fit everything I need it to fit. It fits a lot. So you guys know how I feel about it. I feel the 50 is the perfect size. I'd love to know how you feel. Do you happen to own a Keepall? If so, which size, which print? If you don't own a Keepall, are you considering to get one? And my biggest question is, which size would you consider to be the perfect one? And lastly, I would just like to add this. Is the Keepall worth it? I definitely feel it is when you look at the price points in comparison to other bags that are being released. These Keepalls are actually less expensive and you're getting so much more than most of the new release smaller bags. So if you were to ask me, is the Louis Vuitton Keepall worth it? My answer is absolutely yes. And I really don't know how I forgot to mention this, but the Keepall is a style that will never, ever, ever, never, ever go out of style. The reason for that is Louis Vuitton started as a luxury travel fashion house. Obviously, these are travel pieces. They will never go out of style. And that's obviously a wonderful thing because throughout life, as we're using this classic piece that will never go out of style, you can use the Keepall over and over and over again without getting tired of it. It really is such a gorgeous and classic piece. So again, please let me know, you guys, your favorite size. You would choose the 45, 50, 55. We can even add the 60 in there if you happen to own it. And which print is your favorite? I always appreciate learning what you guys have to say. All right, you guys, now's the time within the video where I'm going to completely transition topics as I typically do, from speaking about luxury to speaking about something that's definitely more insightful, meaningful, and inspirational. Topic of today's video, all is well. In life, we're always going to face problems, situations that are negative, people that come against us. If only we could fast forward these negative things and be able to see a resolution to them. Truth of the matter is, there is always a resolution. An answer is always on the way. It really does sound very simple, doesn't it? But the emotions that can go into negative situations, negative encounters with other people, negative things that we feel we don't have any control over can really bombard our thought life and really just waste precious time that we cannot get back. Whenever you have a problem, God already has the answer in store. Sometimes I enjoy sharing things with you because I have learned certain things in my life that I like to share with other people. When I have a certain type of epiphany in life, I really do feel it's an obligation to share what I have learned with others. And I definitely had one of those right before my dad passed away. It was probably about an hour before he was about to transition to go be with God. And I literally had this thought that just overflooded my mind to the point where I just accepted it as knowledge. It was very amazing. And that knowledge was, I basically thought, oh my goodness, all of the times my dad had worried in his life, he did not need to worry because God always took care of him. I mean, really, when I thought about my dad's life and the certain things that he would worry about and how every single thing was taken care of, I knew that it would be the same exact way in my life. And I know that it's the same exact way for your life. God knows the desires of your heart. God knows the worries, the concerns in your heart, and He has an answer to all of it. It simply could be just too easy to fall into the trap of the what if game. What if this happens? What if that happens? And if that happens, what if this happens? And it's just a spiral of negative emotions. That's when you really need to activate your faith and remember that God has an answer to whatever it is that's on your heart. It's really just a matter of time before it plays out in your life. God wants his children to be happy. He is our heavenly Father. Just like a very good human father wants the best for their children, you can only imagine the magnitude of love our heavenly Father has towards us and how he wants to bless us in our lives. He doesn't want you to be upset. He doesn't want you to be fearful. He doesn't want you to be worried. And he doesn't want you to feel that a situation will not work out on your behalf. He always has the answer to whatever is on your heart. But it's important to remember that God works in his own timing. And for me, I know something that was on my heart for a very long time that I wanted to come to pass, that if you were to tell me, you know, it would have come to pass this past October 2023, I really wouldn't have believed you if you told me that. But that was a desire in my heart. God knew it and he made it happen. And I didn't even know how bad I needed it to happen, but I really needed it to happen. And it was all within his timing. And it's very easy to think to myself, why didn't it happen sooner? Well, I think about other contributing factors and it all really just makes sense. God works in his own timing. As my mom says, he writes with a crooked hand. Sometimes it doesn't really even make sense to us the way our lives are going. And sometimes we want to say to God, God, why are you not making this happen? I don't understand. I've been praying, I've been believing, I'm not seeing. Well, you just have to remember it's all in his timing. He knows your life much better than you do. He knows the forecast for your life much better than you do. The behind the scenes things much better than you do. That's why it's so important to put all of your faith and trust in him. If only we could see into that heavenly dimension where our guardian angels are working on behalf of us, our past loved ones are working on behalf of us, and of course, Jesus working behind the scenes and allowing certain blessings to come to pass. So whenever you're feeling down, worried, concerned about a specific situation, always remind yourself, God is with you and he has the answer for you. All is well. So that is what I have to say on the topic of all is well. If you happen to have any comments or questions on that topic and or my comparison review of the Louis Vuitton Keepall 45, 50, 55, please do leave those in the comment section below. If you made it to the end of this video, I greatly thank you. Until the next, which I'm very excited about, you guys take care and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Bye.